You know that feeling? You're just trying to scroll online and an ad just screams at you? It's totally irrelevant, right? It's just noise. Yeah, we've all been there. But what if marketing wasn't about interrupting you? What if it was more like a conversation? That's what we're going to dive into.
So, why does it feel like that? Well, here's the thing. The old way of doing things, traditional ads, is all about interruption. They just barge into your feed, right in the middle of a show or an article you're trying to read. And let's be honest, you're probably a pro at ignoring them by now. We all are. Because what we really want is something valuable, Something that actually connects with us, instead of just wasting our time.
Okay, so this is where something called content marketing completely flips the script. It's a total game changer. See, it's not about interrupting at all. It's about attracting. The idea is to earn people's attention by being genuinely useful or interesting or maybe even entertaining, not just demanding it with a pop-up.
And if you look at the official definition, there are a few words that really pop out: valuable, relevant, and consistent. And that's the key, right? This isn't some one-off sales pitch. It's about consistently showing up with helpful info, building a real relationship, a relationship that's all about trust, long before a sale is even a thought.
And when you do this right, the results are, well, they're pretty powerful. You start building brand awareness because you become the go-to resource for stuff. Your search rankings start to climb, your SEO, search engine optimization, basically because you're the one answering the questions people are typing into Google. And honestly, the best part? You don't just get customers, you create these passionate fans who turn into your best marketers. They do the talking for you.
Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? It's not about just throwing random content out there and, crossing your fingers. No, it's all about having a map that actually follows how a customer naturally makes a decision. Let's take a look at what that journey really looks like.
So, this whole journey breaks down into 5 main stages. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like building a friendship. Seriously. First, you meet someone, right? Then you find out you have some common interests. You get to know each other a bit better, maybe decide to hang out, and then you work to stay in touch. Well, each of those stages needs a different kind of conversation, and in marketing, that means a different kind of content.
All right, so in those first couple stages, awareness and interest, it's all about discovery. It's like the first handshake. You're not asking for a big commitment here. You're just trying to catch their eye, maybe with a quick video or a fun GIF. Or maybe you answer a simple question with a really helpful blog post. The whole goal is just to be easy to find and spark a little curiosity, all without being pushy.
But then, once you've got their attention, things get a little more focused. Now they have real questions, and you need to have the answers. This is where things like case studies come in to prove you can actually deliver on your promises, or FAQs to clear up any lingering doubts. You might even use retargeting ads. You know the ones that kind of follow you around the internet after you visit a website, to give them a gentle reminder. Basically, you're moving from a casual, hey, how's it going, to a confident, here's exactly why you can trust us.
All right, so you've got the journey mapped out. You know where your customer is. So the next logical question is, what kind of stuff do you actually create? As you start brainstorming, you'll see that your ideas pretty much fall into 2 main buckets. And a really smart strategy, it uses a good mix of both.
On one hand, you have topical content. This is all about what's happening right now. A big news story, a viral meme, a holiday, that kind of thing. It can give you this massive, immediate boost of attention, but poof, its impact is pretty short-lived. Then on the other hand, you have evergreen content, and it's the total opposite. It's timeless. It tackles a fundamental question or a problem that people always have, and this stuff can keep delivering value for months or even years.
Okay, check this out. This is a brilliant example of topical content. Do you remember the dress debate, the whole blue and black or white and gold thing that broke the internet? Well, Specsavers, an optician brand, jumped right in with this super clever tweet. It was so simple, perfectly on brand, and it plugged them right into this huge global conversation. The engagement they got was just massive.
Now, evergreen content, that's your foundation. It's the bedrock of your whole strategy. These are the assets that are out there working for you 24/7. So imagine a hardware store creates the ultimate video guide on how to fix a leaky faucet, right? That video is going to be just as useful 5 years from now as it is today. These are your long-term investments. This is how you build real authority.
Okay, let's recap. We've got our map, the customer journey. We've got our 2 main types of content, topical and evergreen. But to bring all these pieces together, you need a strategy. This is the crucial part where we shift from just making stuff to making the right stuff for the right people.
And the number one rule of any good strategy, you have to know your audience. I mean, really know them. You can't create content for everyone. It just doesn't work. You have to get specific. And the tool for that is something called a buyer persona. It's basically a fictional character, a detailed profile of your ideal customer. But it's not just made up. It's built on real data and actual research.
So how do you build one? Well, it's all about asking the right questions. Things like, where do these people actually spend their time online? What are their goals in life or at work? And this is the big one. What are their pain points? What problems, frustrations, or challenges are they facing that you could potentially help them solve? Seriously, that last question right there, that's a total goldmine for your best content ideas.
Because at the end of the day, when you strip it all back, it all comes down to this. Every single piece of content you create, every blog post, every video, every tweet, it's an opportunity to build a relationship. You're making a big shift from what we call transactional marketing, which is just about making a sale, to relational marketing. You're becoming a trusted, familiar resource that people can count on.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a really simple place to start. Forget about creating some massive, complicated content plan for just a second. Instead, just ask yourself this one question. If you could create one single piece of content right now to solve one real problem for your ideal customer, what would it be? That answer, that right there, is the heart and soul of content marketing.